Well, it's always good when Prince Harry does something for charity because then he's doing something for somebody else rather than for himself. And that, of course, is what he was trained to do, and that is where his skills lie. As for Meghan Markle, her skills are completely different. She is much more of a red carpet person doing, the things that she does. So there is obviously a divergence of the ways, but it's a bit complicated, the situation, because, he pops back every now and again and sort of almost resumes his old life for a few days, and then he goes back to being an appendage in the garden. Usually in life, you're much happier when you're putting something into life, when you're making a contribution, when you're helping other people. It's all very well to be doing it all for yourself, but by and large, that doesn't seem to make people happy in the long run, and he certainly doesn't look happy. So if by doing these sort of things more often, it gives him a bit of a purpose and it helps other people, then I'm all for it. But in the end of the day, he's in a bit of a muddle because he has opted out and, he is not part of the working royal family and is very unlikely ever to be. So what can he do but make these odd appearances every now and again? I've thought about a a lot about the question of him coming back because I do see that as one of his eventual options. But the more I think about it, considering how much attention he is given for everything that he does, he actually would be counterproductive if he came back because, if he went on a royal duty, let's say, people would be looking at him saying, is he happy? Should Meghan Markle be with him? Where are his children? It all deflects from the king, and the king, has, a lot of very important things to do, and he needs things to be more focused on him and not on his wayward son. And that is the problem. So I don't think he actually would be useful in the royal family because he's now so controversial. I think the royal family have continued to do what they do very well, which is to serve us, the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. And they do it. Yes, they do it in traditional ways, but they're always branching out into slightly new areas, and I'm sure that Prince William will do things slightly differently from his father and so forth. But having said that, what Prince Harry is doing, well, it just draws the attention onto him. He's like so angry. He's so sort of full of bitterness, and again, eventually at the end of the day, that's going to be counterproductive. And you may well ask, what does the king think about all this? Well, I think the king has been very clever to keep the door open for Prince Harry, but on the other hand, the king has not been well. He has a lot of other things on his plate. I think he feels it's up to Prince Harry to sort himself out and to apologize to him, not the other way round by any means. And that's very unlikely to happen. So I think we're in a bit of an impasse. Well, my personal opinion is that everything he does is controlled by her. And I think actually there is evidence that this was even the case when they were working members of the royal family. I remember somebody quite well placed saying that every speech that he made in Australia, he ran past her. So I think he sings from her hymn sheet. And, you know, that's not the same hymn sheet as the royal family. Well, I think that Prince William has many reasons for being upset about his brother. It's always somehow worse when you're betrayed by somebody who was very close to you, and they obviously got on terribly well as youngsters. Um, there was a lovely phase, you may remember, when William and Catherine were going out and about, and before Prince Harry met Meghan Markle, he was very often with them, and I don't know, it looked as though they all got on terribly well together, and they were achieving things. I hate to say it, but the moment she came on the scene, that all changed. People are always talking about olive branches being offered by the king, and, if he's gonna be over here once or twice, I don't know, maybe there'll be a meeting, maybe there won't be a meeting. Um, I don't think that the, king's gonna put himself out particularly, but, it's up to Prince Harry. But then Prince Harry himself has taken the position that he's the one who's been wronged, and I don't think any of us agree with that. So until he pulls himself together and eats a bit of humble pie, I don't think it's likely to happen. Prince Harry went on the record to say that he didn't know how long his father had. I mean, I don't know on what basis he spoke, but, inevitably, if somebody has been ill, these questions arise. And I can assure you that it would be very good from Prince Harry's psychological position if he could somehow make it up with his father. And, if time should be limited, and obviously, it's always limited for everybody, be better to do it sooner than later, frankly.